I've been dead for half a year due to a car accident, but my husband, Lu Feng, still thinks I'm being unreasonable and is waiting for me to go back and apologize to him, until one day, he suddenly couldn't find a watch. That watch was given to him by his childhood sweetheart. Since it was broken, I was asked to take it to the watch shop for repair. He called to question me. Shenqing, have you had enough of this nonsense? If we can't get along, we can get a divorce. Who are you trying to show this attitude to? Where did you put the watch I asked you to take for repair? Did you hide it from me? After all these years, you still can't get rid of your jealousy towards Wanwan. It was my sister's voice on the other end of the phone. Congratulations, Lu Feng, Shenqing is already dead. She will never be jealous of Lin Wanwan again. 1. I died in a car accident. That day, I had an argument with Lu Feng. Just because I had just found out that I was pregnant and wanted to share the joy with him, but he was going to accompany Lin Wanwan to celebrate her birthday, I didn't let him go. He said I was being unreasonable and that if he had wanted to be with Lin Wanwan all these years, they would have been together long ago, and it wouldn't have been my turn to marry him. I was so angry that I smashed things at home and vented all the grievances I had accumulated over the years. He couldn't stand it and slapped me. Shenqing, have I given you too much leeway all these years? There was no feeling of being heartbroken. At that moment, I suddenly lost all hope. I turned around and left. Shenqing, if you walk out of this house today, don't come back. He threatened me from behind, as he wished. I really couldn't go back. When I drove away, I encountered a serious car accident, and both me and the baby died. My sister came to deal with my affairs. Perhaps she was too angry, so she didn't tell Lu Feng the news of my death. After I died, my soul somehow followed Lu Feng around. Maybe I still had some lingering attachments. I watched as he still went to celebrate Lin Wanwan's birthday that day. I watched as he prepared small gifts for her on every festival in the past 6 months. I watched as he would rush to accompany Lin Wanwan the moment she called, even if it was raining knives outside. Sometimes Lin Wanwan would kindly ask about me. Hasn't Shenqing come back yet? Did I cause the discord between you two? If so, I'll call Shenqing and apologize to her. It has nothing to do with you, it's her own fault, Lu Feng said coldly. Don't worry about her. Let's see how long she can hold on. After 7 years of our relationship, I ultimately failed to leave even the slightest mark on Lu Feng, or perhaps, from the very beginning, I shouldn't have appeared in their world, with or without me. His life goes on as usual. I was still his burden and nuisance. Just when I thought Lu Feng's life would go on indifferently like this, until that day, when Lin Wanwan suddenly asked about the watch she had given him, he suddenly thought of me. Then he called me impatiently. Shenqing, have you had enough of this nonsense? If we can't get along, we can get a divorce. Who are you trying to show this attitude to? Where did you put the watch I asked you to take for repair? Did you hide it from me? After all these years, you still can't get rid of your jealousy towards Wanwan. 2. My sister answered the phone. There was no sound on the other side for a while. Probably she was really so angry that she couldn't say a word. Speak, are you dead? Lu Feng asked harshly. Dead? It was with great difficulty that my sister coldly uttered these 2 words. What nonsense are you talking about? I said Shenqing is dead. My sister said each word slowly. Congratulations, Lu Feng. She will never be jealous of Lin Wanwan again. At this moment, Lu Feng seemed to realize that it was my sister answering the phone. A trace of panic flashed in his eyes, and the next moment he said sarcastically, what kind of trick is Shenqing playing now? What, does she think I'll regret it just because she's pretending to be dead? You tell her that either she comes back obediently, or she really stays dead outside. She's dead. I said Shenqing is dead. My sister suddenly broke down and shouted at Lu Feng, she doesn't need you to regret it either, because you're heartless. Enough, Shenhe, I don't want to waste words with you. You don't need to interfere in my business with Shenqing. Give the phone to Shenqing. My sister hung up Lu Feng's phone directly. I saw that Lu Feng was so angry that the veins on his face popped out. Over the years, he had never been at a disadvantage when it came to my matters. In our quarrels, it was always me who compromised in the end. Suppressing his anger, he called me again. He said, ask Shenqing where the watch I gave her for repair is now. I need it urgently. I don't know, my sister said coldly. I asked you to ask Shenqing. Lu Feng, you really deserve to be struck by lightning, my sister said through gritted teeth. She knew all about me and Lu Feng, so she knew how good I had been to Lu Feng. It was precisely because of Lu Feng's current actions that she hated him so much. In the end, you only care about the watch Lin Wanwan gave you. To you, a watch is more important than Shinqing's life, isn't it? There seemed to be a hint of choking in my sister's voice, feeling it was unfair for me. Before Lu Feng could speak, my sister said angrily again, Shinqing is really dead, believe it or not, it's up to you. I won't answer your calls anymore. You'll dirty the path of Shinqing's reincarnation. 3. Lu Feng was hung up on by my sister again. All I could see on his face was anger. There was not the slightest bit of worry because my sister said I was dead. He should still be wondering where I had hidden the watch that Lin Wanwan gave him. To him, the things given to him by Lin Wanwan were, of course, more important than my life. I still remember that at the moment of my car accident, I used my last bit of strength to call him. And he hung up on me without hesitation. At that time, he should have been thinking about how to celebrate Lin Wanwan's birthday. How ridiculous. I even began to wonder how I had managed to persevere all those years, but fortunately, I don't know if people really have no heart after death or if I have no feelings for Lu Feng anymore. Even if Lu Feng is being extremely heartless now, I don't seem to feel the pain in my heart. I just floated in midair and watched him indifferently. I watched as he gradually changed from being irritable to calm. After calming down, he became very dull, standing still in the same place without any reaction for a long time. I don't know what he's thinking, and I have no expectations of him. Suddenly, his phone rang. It was Lin Wanwan calling. They had made an appointment to go hiking in the suburbs today. The moment Lu Feng saw Lin Wanwan's call, the expression on his face obviously softened, and a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. I also smiled. That's right, if there are no expectations, there will be no disappointments. Wanwan, his voice was gentle. In the past 6 months, I had heard so many conversations between him and Lin Wanwan that I almost forgot how cold he used to be to me. Feng, have you gone out yet? I prepared everything and am waiting for you at home, Lin Wanwan said coquettishly. I'll go out right away, it'll take about 20 minutes. Drive carefully on the way, Lin Wanwan sweetly reminded. Okay. Lu Feng hung up the phone and turned around to enter the cloakroom. He was looking for clothes in the closet. After looking for a while, it seemed that he couldn't find the set he wanted. He walked out of the room and shouted downstairs, Aunt Wu, where's my Gucci sportswear? The maid, Aunt Wu, heard the voice and quickly went upstairs. Sir, I've already put all your clothes in the closet. Which set are you talking about? Lu Feng said impatiently, the brown one with 2 stripes on both sides and many English logos on it. Aunt Wu didn't quite understand. She walked into the cloakroom and looked for it for Lu Feng. Is this the set, sir? No, Lu Feng said angrily. I've already looked for it just now. It's not here. In fact, the set of clothes was at the bottom of the closet. He just didn't have the patience to look for it properly. He would never waste his time on insignificant things or people. Just like his attitude towards me in the past. Then I don't know, you're my maid, responsible for my daily life, you can't even find my clothes. Lu Feng raised his voice. Lu Feng's temper was obviously worse than usual today. Was he really in such a hurry to see Lin Wanwan? Aunt Wu was also a bit embarrassed by what Lu Feng said. It took her a while to muster up the courage to say, in the past, your wife was in charge of taking care of your clothes. She said you were particular about your clothes and was afraid that I couldn't do it well. Why don't you just ask your wife directly? 4. No need to ask her. Why should I ask her? Lu Feng refused immediately and said harshly, she'd better have the ability to never come back for the rest of her life. So in Lu Feng's mind, my death was just me playing tricks. He didn't believe that I was really dead at all. He thought that I was still using this way to wait for him to coax me. Lu Feng was so angry that he casually found a set of sportswear, picked up the car keys, and quickly went out. He picked up Lin Wanwan and they went to the suburbs together. They went hiking together and talked and laughed along the way. Whether I'm dead or not has no impact on him at all. Halfway up the mountain, Lin Wanwan suddenly acted coquettishly and refused to go any further. Feng, what's wrong with you today? Why are you walking so fast? I can't catch up with you. Lu Feng stopped and turned to look at her. I want to take a rest for a while, then let's sit for a while. Lu Feng naturally took out a napkin, wiped the steps for Lin Wanwan, and let her sit on it, but he himself stood on the railing beside, looking at the scenery halfway up the mountain. Feng, what's wrong with you today? I feel like you have something on your mind. Lin Wanwan looked at him. You can tell me anything, and I'll share it with you. Nothing, Lu Feng replied. Maybe I've been under a bit of work pressure recently. I knew you were under a lot of work pressure, so I wanted to take you out for a walk and relax properly, Lin Wanwan said proudly. with a look of expectation on her face as if waiting for Lu Feng to praise her. Surprisingly, Lu Feng remained silent. Lin Wanwan's face showed a hint of displeasure, but she quickly hid it. After resting for a while, Lu Feng urged, "It's getting late, let's go. I can't walk anymore." "Can you carry me on your back?" Lin Wanwan said coquettishly and deliberately added, "I only weigh over 90 pounds, I should be much lighter than Shen Qing." Right, I was indeed much heavier than Lin Wanwan, but I used to be very thin. Later, in order to prepare for pregnancy, I forced myself to gain more than 20 pounds. I finally managed to get pregnant, but Lu Feng didn't care at all. He should have even disliked me for my fat body. Why mention her? Lu Feng's face suddenly changed. Lin Wanwan was slightly taken aback, probably because Lu Feng had never spoken to her so loudly before. "Sorry," Lin Wanwan quickly apologized timidly, "I didn't know. Did you two have another fight?" "No," Lu Feng said perfunctorily, "if you can't walk, let's go down the mountain." "But, we're only halfway there. Coincidentally, I still have some work to deal with this afternoon, let's go back early." Lu Feng left a word and took the lead in walking away. I saw that Lin Wanwan's face turned extremely terrible looking. She gritted her teeth but still followed Lu Feng's steps. After going down the mountain, Lin Wanwan sat in the passenger seat of Lu Feng's car. She took the initiative to say, "Feng, let's have lunch together. I'm in a hurry to go back to work, so we won't have lunch together. It doesn't taste good when I eat alone." Lin Wanwan looked at him eagerly. "Will you have lunch with me?" "I promise I'll go home obediently after eating and won't disturb your work." After all, Lu Feng couldn't refuse Lin Wanwan and agreed. Lin Wanwan showed a triumphant smile. I have to admit that Lin Wanwan really has the capital to be proud in front of Lu Feng. The car arrived at the restaurant that Lin Wanwan liked. When getting out of the car, Lu Feng rubbed his stomach. Lin Wanwan obviously noticed it and quickly asked with concern, "What's wrong? Does your stomach hurt?" Lu Feng nodded. Then opened the glove box and casually took out the medicine box inside. When he opened it, he found that there were no stomach medicines left. 5. Lu Feng has a habit of having stomachaches. In the past few years, because his family had encountered some changes and almost went bankrupt, in order to make a comeback, he worked day and night without eating or sleeping properly. Over time, he developed a stomach problem. Later, after I was with him, I often cooked porridge and brought meals to him. His stomach condition improved a lot under my care, but it couldn't withstand the occasional recurrence of the stomach problem due to social engagements. In order to prevent him from suffering too much from the stomachache, I would prepare stomach medicine in advance and put it in the car for him. I would often check the situation of his stomach medicine and replenish it for him as soon as it ran out. Logically, Lu Feng shouldn't have finished the stomach medicine so quickly. After thinking carefully, in the past 6 months when I wasn't around, no one reminded him to eat, and even less did anyone bring him meals. He often didn't eat on time, so it served him right that his stomach problem recurred frequently. "Let me rub it for you." Lin Wanwan took the initiative to get closer to Lu Feng and put her hand on his stomach. "It'll be better after rubbing." Lu Feng was taken aback for a moment and then pushed Lin Wanwan away. "No need, I should just be hungry. It'll be fine after eating." "Then let's go have a meal," Lin Wanwan said with a smile as if nothing had happened. Lu Feng pursed his lips, and the two of them got out of the car together. Sitting at the dining table, Lin Wanwan kept ordering food from the waiter and occasionally asked Lu Feng a few questions. Lu Feng's face turned pale from the stomachache. But he has always been stubborn and wouldn't expose his weaknesses. Moreover, in front of his childhood sweetheart, he wanted to maintain his image as a male god. Looking at him like this, I somehow felt a bit happy. It would be best if he died of the pain. After Lin Wanwan finished ordering the dishes, she didn't notice that Lu Feng's face looked wrong and was still chatting and laughing with him. "Lu Feng, I ordered the boiled sliced pork and hot sauce that you like the most. You should eat more later." I saw that Lu Feng's face finally changed a bit. How could someone with a stomachache eat such spicy food? Lin Wanwan really didn't pay the slightest attention to Lu Feng's health at all. I remember that I used to be someone who couldn't live without spicy food. In order to help Lu Feng nourish his stomach, I forced myself to eat a light diet for a whole year. I suddenly seemed to understand. Only those who are favored can be fearless, and all these years, I was just being foolishly infatuated. The dishes were served on the table. Lu Feng didn't eat much. Lin Wanwan looked a bit wronged. "Feng, don't you like the dishes I ordered for you? Why are you eating so little?" "I have a bad stomach and can't eat spicy food," Lu Feng said directly. "Ah, I didn't know that." what should I do? I'm sorry, Feng, I'm sorry. Lin Wanwan looked guilty as if she had made a mistake, with tears in her eyes, making her look pitiful. Lu Feng couldn't bear to see Lin Wanwan being sad the most, at the slightest sound of thunder and lightning. If Lin Wanwan let out a whimper on the other end of the phone, Lu Feng would drive through the rain at night to accompany her. At this moment, I'm afraid he would even eat the boiled sliced pork and hot sauce that Lin Wanwan ordered for him to comfort her, even if it might kill him from the stomachache. But in the end, Lu Feng just said indifferently, "It's nothing. I don't have an appetite for anything now, you eat slowly, I'm going back to the company first." Before Lin Wanwan could react, Lu Feng had already paid the bill and left. When he got back into his car and started the engine to leave, he suddenly looked back at the empty stomach medicine box. The next moment, he stepped on the gas pedal and drove away. 6. He didn't go back to the company but went straight home. So is he still a bit angry that Lin Wanwan doesn't care about his health? Of course. It's also because you care about someone that you would feel this way. After all, when I was in poor health before, Lu Feng ignored me, and I would also be very angry. I just got used to it later. "Sir, you're back, have you had lunch?" And Wu quickly stepped forward to greet him. "I'm not eating," Lu Feng said with a cold face. "How can you not eat? Madam said you have a stomach problem, and you'll get a stomachache if you don't eat." Aunt Wu said with concern, "Let me cook some porridge for you. If you don't have an appetite, it's still good to eat some porridge." Lu Feng paused for a moment and finally didn't refuse. Half an hour later, Aunt Wu brought the cooked porridge to Lu Feng. During this time, Lu Feng had been sitting on the sofa watching TV, but he kept pressing the remote control, looking very absent-minded. "Sir, be careful, it's hot." "Okay," Lu Feng replied, then picked up the spoon and slowly took a bite. "How does it taste, sir?" Aunt Wu asked. Lu Feng swallowed the porridge and said indifferently, "It tastes very similar to the porridge Shenqing cooked. Madam taught me how to make it." Aunt Wu quickly said, "Madam said that in case she wasn't at home for some reason, I should cook porridge for you, so she taught me how to make it. Madam said that since you have a bad stomach, the porridge must be cooked thick, sticky, and soft. Madam also said that you're picky about food, sir. You don't like eating green vegetables but like broccoli, so every time I cook vegetable porridge, I use broccoli instead. Madam is really attentive to you, sir. She always remembers every one of your preferences." Aunt Wu said a lot, and I couldn't stand listening anymore. It's not that Aunt Wu was lying, it's precisely because it was all true that I felt that all these things were a disgrace. Being good to Lu Feng was the most regretful thing I've ever done in my life. "Sir, please bring Madam back. Madam is really the person in this world who loves you the most and treats you the best." Aunt Wu couldn't help but say. Lu Feng seemed to pause. I thought he would refuse immediately as he did before. At that moment, he remained silent. After Lu Feng finished the porridge, he went back to his room and lay on the bed. Judging from his face, his stomachache should have been relieved a lot. His phone kept ringing with messages. They were from Lin Wanwan. "Sorry, Feng. It's my fault, I didn't notice your physical condition. Are you feeling better now? Do you want to go to the hospital? I'll go with you." "Feng, I didn't even know you had a stomach problem. You didn't have it before. I always thought Shenqing would take good care of you. Are you angry, Feng? Why don't you reply to my messages? I'm scared." After reading the messages, Lu Feng suddenly got up from the bed and quickly left the room, looking at his anxious appearance. I couldn't help but find it ridiculous. How could I have deceived myself into thinking that Lu Feng's care for Lin Wanwan was just out of friendship? I thought that because Lin Wanwan didn't have many friends and her parents were also very cold to her, Lu Feng was just showing his excessive sympathy. Now it seems that I was really a joke. I watched as he drove like crazy to find Lin Wanwan. How could you let the person you like suffer even a little bit of grievance? I had already thought about how Lu Feng would comfort and coax Lin Wanwan when he saw her. Maybe when the emotions were right, the two of them would really get together. In the past 6 months, nothing substantial had really happened between them. Probably they were afraid that having an affair during marriage would have a bad impact on Lin Wanwan's reputation, so they stuck to the bottom line. I watched as Lu Feng parked the car, rushed into the elevator, and pressed the floor number. He walked up to the front door and eagerly pressed the doorbell. The door opened. I was really taken aback, because the person who opened the door was my sister, Shenhe. 7. At this moment, I noticed that this wasn't Lin Wanwan's home, it was my sister's home. The moment my sister saw Lu Feng, she was about to close the door without saying a word. Lu Feng was quick-eyed and quick-handed. He grabbed the door, and his hand was caught by the door my sister was closing. Lu Feng endured the intense pain. My sister also held back for a moment and asked coldly, "What are you doing here? You're not welcome here." "I'm here to find Shen Qing." Lu Feng's voice was a bit dark and suppressed because of the pain. "Didn't I make it clear on the phone? Shen Qing is dead. If you really want to find her, then go die. You'll be able to see her if you're dead." My sister said viciously, "Enough, Shen He. It's none of your business in our husband and wife affairs." Lu Feng was embarrassed by my sister's scolding but still didn't believe that I was dead. "Then what are you doing here looking for me? Get out of here. How dare you call yourselves husband and wife? Have you ever fulfilled your responsibility as a husband? Get out of here quickly. I feel disgusted." Lu Feng wasn't someone who was good at speaking. When we used to quarrel, I also suffered from his cold violence. At this moment, being insulted like this by my sister, even though he was extremely angry, he just held his anger in. "If you don't leave, I'll call the police," my sister threatened. "I admit I was wrong," Lu Feng suddenly said. I was shocked. My sister was also shocked. Over all these years, when had Lu Feng ever thought he was wrong? Even if I cried my heart out, he still thought I was being unreasonable. "Let me see Shen Qing. I want to talk to her properly," Lu Feng said calmly. "Talk." My sister smiled sarcastically. At that moment, her eyes were really red. After all, I was already dead. "Talk to a ghost," my sister said. "Lu Feng, do you think you've been worthy of Shen Qing in the past few years? I have a clear conscience," Lu Feng said righteously. "You're so entangled with Lin Wanwan, and you still have a clear conscience." My sister couldn't control herself anymore and lost her temper. "Lin Wanwan and I are innocent." "Innocent? What exactly is considered innocent? Do you really have to sleep in the same bed to be considered not innocent?" My sister shouted at Lu Feng. "When Shen Qing was sick, you were by Lin Wanwan's side, showing her concern. When it was Shen Qing's birthday, you went to find Lin Wanwan without hesitation at her call. When Shen Qing was pregnant, you chose to go to celebrate Lin Wanwan's birthday. When Shen Qing was jealous because of Lin Wanwan, you even blamed her for not being generous enough and being overly jealous." My sister became more and more broken down as she spoke. "Lu Feng, do you really think you're a qualified husband? How dare you say you have a clear conscience towards Shen Qing?" Before Lu Feng could defend himself, my sister said excitedly again, "Don't forget that when you had nothing, it was Shen Qing who accompanied you through the darkest days of your life, not Lin Wanwan. In the end, what did you give Shen Qing? And what did you give Lin Wanwan?" "I gave Shen Qing a home." "A home?" My sister smiled even more sarcastically. "What kind of home is it? A home without a husband? A husband who is always by the side of other women is scarier than being a widow. Have you said enough?" Lu Feng became angry out of embarrassment. "I admit that Shen Qing did accompany me through difficult times, but Lin Wanwan has also been good to me. When I was in the worst financial situation, it was Lin Wanwan who sold her car and house to fill the gap for me. I'm grateful to her. Is there anything wrong with that?" "What did you say?" my sister asked in surprise. 8. Not only was my sister surprised, but I was also surprised. When did Lin Wanwan sell her car and house for him and provide him with funds to fill the gap? I couldn't help but start to recall the bits and pieces of my past with Lu Feng. I don't know if people will forget things after they die. I have gradually forgotten a lot of things from my life before. I only vaguely remember that I met Lu Feng when I just graduated from university and started working at Lu's group. At that time, Lu Feng had just joined the company too. His parents asked him to start from the grassroots level to train him. I thought he was just an ordinary employee like the rest of us. As new employees, he had a calmness and composure different from the rest of us, and his ability was outstanding. He was also tall and handsome. We were assigned to the same team, and we completed a lot of work together. As time passed, I began to have some budding feelings, but what made me realize that I really liked him was that day when he gave me a ride home after we finished working overtime. As soon as I got out of the car, I was pulled by my alcoholic uncle, who demanded money from me and threatened to beat me to death if I didn't give it to him. My parents died very early in an accident at the factory. Before they died, my uncle was very young, and since my grandparents had also passed away early, my mother almost took care of my uncle. After my mother died, my uncle was left with no one to rely on, and he would come to me and my sister whenever he needed money. Before, we would give him some relief, but later he became more and more excessive, and my sister and I couldn't afford to support him anymore, so we ignored him. He pestered us. In order to get rid of him, my sister and I were forced to move. Unexpectedly, he still found us. That night, Lu Feng forcefully rescued me from my uncle. if you dare to touch Shenqing, I'll beat you to death, mind your own business about our family's affairs. My uncle tried to push Lu Feng away, but Lu Feng pushed him to the ground. Shenqing's affairs are my affairs, and I'll take care of them to the end, Lu Feng said firmly, and he really did what he said. After that, he sent me home every day to prevent my uncle from harassing me. My uncle really didn't dare to come to find me and my sister after some time. At that time, Lu Feng really seemed like a heroic figure. My heart suddenly ached. It turned out that people who are dead can still feel pain, it's just that I don't care anymore. After Lu Feng helped me get rid of my uncle, I thought about confessing my feelings to him, but I suddenly learned that Lu Feng was actually the eldest son of Lu's group. The sense of inferiority caused by the disparity in our status made me bury this feeling in my heart. Later, due to the failed investment decision made by the leadership of Lu's group, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. Many people left Lu's group, but I resolutely chose to stay by Lu Feng's side. Secretly, I was even glad that this was the closest I could be to Lu Feng. I accompanied Lu Feng to social events, in order to block the wine for him. I drank so much that I had a gastric hemorrhage and was sent to the hospital. I accompanied him to work overtime every day. Staying up all night was a common occurrence. During his most difficult 2 years, my weight didn't even reach 90 pounds although I was 163 centimeters tall. In his most crucial battle, I transferred all the 1.5 million yuan of compensation left by my parents' accidental death, including my sister's share, to his account. My sister didn't agree at first, but later she couldn't resist my unwavering love for Lu Feng and finally gave me the money. Of course, I paid her back double later. After the money arrived, Lu Feng led the company back on track. He hugged me and cheered. That night, we celebrated together. Under the influence of alcohol, both of us couldn't help ourselves. And then we naturally became boyfriend and girlfriend. I always thought he knew that I was the one who transferred the money. He dated me and then married me. I thought it was because he knew all my efforts and was moved by them, so I never deliberately mentioned that 1.5 million yuan. But now, Lu Feng suddenly said that the money he was desperately in need of was given by Lin Wanwan. 9. You said that Lin Wanwan sold her car and house to fill the gap for you, my sister confirmed again. So why shouldn't I be good to her? She even turned against her family to help me, Lu Feng said angrily. Don't I owe her for such kindness? It's Shenqing who has always not understood me and made a big deal out of everything. Ha, my sister laughed. It was really a smile like looking at an idiot, she said. Is that what Lin Wanwan told you? That she was ostracized by everyone for you? Lu Feng could also see the sarcasm in my sister's words. You don't need to act like this. Shenqing isn't the only good person in the world. Why do you look down on others so much? I look down on Lin Wanwan. Yes, I just look down on such a scheming woman like her. But compared to her, I look down on you even more, my sister said harshly. Leaving other things aside, did you ever tell Shenqing about the things Lin Wanwan did for you? Did Shenqing know that you were repaying Lin Wanwan's kindness? Lu Feng suddenly fell silent. He really had never told me. I didn't know either. If he had made it clear earlier, I would have known that he mistook that 1.5 million yuan as given by Lin Wanwan. Perhaps it wasn't that important either. Lu Feng was just finding a reasonable excuse for himself to be good to Lin Wanwan. Without that 1.5 million yuan, there could be many other reasons. Is Shenqing a worm in your stomach? Can she know what you're thinking? All she saw was that her husband was wholeheartedly being nice to another woman. My sister roared. What's more, when she was jealous, her husband even blamed her for being unreasonable. I told her that there was nothing between us, Lu Feng retorted feebly. There are so many cheating men in the world, and each of them says they haven't been unfaithful. But what's the result? My sister retorted to Lu Feng and then broke down. The result is that Shenqing still believed you, and she kept believing you all the time. If she believed me, she wouldn't have quarreled with me like this. If she didn't believe you, why didn't she divorce you? Why did she still work so hard and try so desperately to get pregnant with your child? Lu Feng looked at my sister, probably stunned by her overly excited emotions. Do you know how badly Shenqing's body was damaged when she accompanied you to start your business? The doctor said that if she wanted to get pregnant, she had to gain weight like crazy. Everyone thinks it's difficult to lose weight, but in fact, it's the hardest for people who can't gain weight to put on weight. You have no idea how much suffering Shenqing endured for you. Lu Feng pursed his lips tightly and suddenly fell silent. Yes, I really suffered a lot in order to get pregnant back then. I wasn't someone who particularly liked eating meat, but I ate until I vomited in order to gain weight, and then I ate again after vomiting. Forget it. It's useless to say more to someone like you. My sister suddenly didn't want to talk anymore. She was afraid that if she continued, she herself wouldn't be able to stand it first. Now that Shenqing is gone, you can live a good life with your benefactor Lin Wanwan. Give me a chance. Lu Feng suddenly grabbed my sister, his eyes sincere. I want to talk to Shenqing again. My sister hesitated for a moment. I could tell that she really didn't want to pay attention to Lu Feng anymore, but finally, she suddenly agreed. Wait for me for a while, okay? My sister turned around and went back to the room, changing into an outfit for going out. Isn't Shenqing inside? Lu Feng asked my sister. My sister didn't answer him and walked straight into the elevator. Lu Feng still followed behind my sister. 10. My sister parked the car in the suburbs. Lu Feng got out of the car angrily and questioned my sister. What are you doing bringing me here? Even if I did have some shortcomings in how I treated Shenqing, it doesn't mean you can play tricks on me like this. My sister rarely even bothered to reply. She turned around and walked directly into a small path. I knew that this was the place where my sister buried me, and my parents were also buried here. I saw Lu Feng following my sister angrily. I thought that with his personality, he would turn around and leave. My sister's footsteps stopped in front of a tomb. Fortunately, once during the spring festival, Lu Feng took time out of his busy schedule to accompany me to offer sacrifices to my parents, so he should remember this place. Why did you bring me to your parents' gravesite? Lu Feng didn't finish his sentence. Because he saw my tombstone. My name was written on the tombstone. There was also a black and white photo of me when I was alive on it. He was like suddenly turned to stone, staring closely at my tombstone, as if he couldn't believe what he saw. He was confirming over and over again whether it was really my name on the tombstone, whether I was really dead or not. I saw that his eyes suddenly seemed to turn red. Unexpectedly, they turned red rather scarily. I was very indifferent. My sister was also very indifferent. Crocodile tears were never worthy of sympathy. I don't believe it, Lu Feng suddenly said firmly. Did Shenqing deliberately play tricks on me? Did you deliberately use this method to take revenge on me? How could a perfectly healthy person die just like that? Who would curse themselves like this? Lu Feng, don't you know what kind of person Shenqing is? She has been afraid of causing trouble to others since she was a child. Could she play a prank? What's more, even if she's dead, she can't take revenge on you, right? But why did she die? Lu Feng still didn't believe it. Why? My sister sneered, probably thinking of the tragic scene when I died. Tears flowed down uncontrollably. Half a year ago, weren't you going to celebrate Lin Wanwan's birthday? Shenqing had a car accident when she went out that day. No, it can't be. Lu Feng shook his head. His emotions were on the verge of collapsing little by little. I didn't receive the news. I didn't receive the news of her car accident, Lu Feng said loudly. Because you didn't answer her call. My sister was also angry. In the end, she called me. She said she was going to die, and she told me not to be sad and not to bother you. My sister covered her face. The painful memories made her sob uncontrollably. Lu Feng became completely stunned. He looked at my tomb and then at my sister's breakdown. I saw his body trembling uncontrollably. Was it fear of the dead? Or was it that he was also a little bit sad because of my death? Until the moment Shenqing died, she was still thinking of you. She was afraid of affecting your life. But what were you doing? You were singing the birthday song with Lin Wanwan, my sister said while crying. She really felt it was unfair for me, very unfair. Actually, I wasn't that great. Perhaps before, I did sacrifice a lot for Lu Feng without any complaints or regrets. But the last call I made to my sister wasn't because I was afraid of affecting him. I really didn't want to have any more involvement with him. With a bang sound, I saw Lu Feng kneeling straight in front of my tombstone. The hard floor made a huge noise. My sister looked up at Lu Feng, looking at his heartbroken appearance. There was only sarcasm in her eyes. Who are you showing this look to? The person is already dead, and Shenqing can't see it anymore. I could see it, but I didn't feel anything at all. I even found Lu Feng's current appearance very annoying. I always felt that the reason I couldn't be reincarnated was that he had always been blocking my way. 11. Suddenly, Lu Feng started kowtowing frantically in front of my tomb. There were loud sounds one after another, and he knocked his head until it bled. My sister watched his actions coldly. I was also a bit annoyed. If he wanted to die, he could do it far away and not disturb my peace. My sister never went to stop him. As a soul, there was nothing I could do either. I don't know how much time passed. Lu Feng suddenly stopped. The moment he stopped, his body curled up into a ball, and then there came a suppressed crying sound. now he knows his head hurts, he deserves it, Lu Feng. I originally wanted to follow Shenqing's will and never bother you again, but since you want to atone for your sins, I'll tell you the truth. My sister took out my phone. This is Shenqing's phone. The notes on it record every bit of what happened between you two, and what your beloved childhood sweetheart Lin Wanwan did to Shenqing. Lu Feng turned his head woodenly to look at my sister. His eyes were blood red. This was an appearance I had never seen before. My body twisted and floated in front of my sister, really wanting to stop my sister's actions. I didn't want to give my phone to Lu Feng. It wasn't that I was afraid he wouldn't feel guilty enough, I just didn't care about his regret. To me, this person was as good as dead. Oh, no, the one who was dead was me, but still. Everything he did to me now, I thought it was all unimportant. I saw Lu Feng tremblingly take the phone and then hold it tightly in his hand, so hard that his knuckles turned white. The password is your birthday, my sister said again. Lu Feng's body froze. The next moment, he started shaking even more violently. The redness in his eyes became more and more obvious. My sister got up and left. As far as my sister was concerned, she had done everything she could for Lu Feng. And the reason she could go this far was probably that she knew too well how much I had loved Lu Feng. She didn't want my love to disappear without a trace. In the desolate mountains, the wind was very strong. Even my soul was blown apart and was shivering. Lu Feng knelt in front of my grave for a long time, a really long time. Finally, he picked up my phone. He pressed the password, which was his birthday. The screen opened, and the desktop was our wedding photo. Lu Feng's Adam's apple kept rolling. Slowly, he opened my notes. I had the habit of keeping a diary. I used to write it in a notebook, and later, with the progress of technology, I wrote it on my phone. I had used this phone for 5 years. I was a nostalgic person, and I had been like this since I was a child. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wholeheartedly loved Lu Feng for so many years. 12 on month, day, 2018. I bought a new phone and spent a large sum of money to get the same model as Lu Feng's. Today is really a wonderful day. On month, day, 2018, Lu's group is on the verge of bankruptcy, and everyone is leaving. I won't leave. I don't expect to stay by his side for a lifetime. As long as he doesn't push me away, he won't push me away, will he? I really want to confess my love to him. On month, day, 2018, Lu Feng praised that the porridge I cooked today was very delicious. I'm so happy. It's worth all the many failures I had before, and I finally succeeded. On month, day, 2018, I feel so terrible after being drunk. But when I think that if I drink a little more, Lu Feng can drink a little less, I don't feel so bad anymore. On month, day, 2018, the company has a funding gap of 1.5 million yuan. I accompanied Lu Feng to many banks, but the banks wouldn't lend us money. Seeing Lu Feng's anxious appearance, I couldn't help but finally ask my sister and wanted to take the inheritance left by our parents. That inheritance was left to my sister and me by our parents with their lives. And I know it's of great significance, but my sister is the best person to me in the world, and she still gave me the money. I promise that when I become successful in the future, I will definitely treat my sister even better. On month, day, 2019, Lu Feng finally won the project, and Lu's group finally got back on track. Lu Feng took me to celebrate together, and we drank a lot of wine. He said he was very grateful to me for always staying by his side and for all my efforts for him. We got together. I think I'm the happiest woman in the world. On month, day, 2019, I met Lu Feng's childhood sweetheart, Lin Wanwan. Today, she is really beautiful, fair, and gentle. What should I do? I seem to be a little jealous of her. I think Lu Feng is being a bit too nice to her. On month, day, 2019, Lu Feng suddenly brought up the matter of getting married. I was actually a bit flattered. He said his parents were urging him, and we had been dating for a year. I thought about it and agreed without much consideration. Anyway, in this life, except for him, I never thought of marrying anyone else. On month, day, 2020, on our wedding night, Lu Feng went to Lin Wanwan's place. He said that there was a power outage at Lin Wanwan's house and she was afraid of the dark. He would come back when the power was restored, but that night, he didn't come back at all. I also received a WeChat message and photos sent by Lin Wanwan. She said, "Borrow your husband for one night, I'll return him to you tomorrow." The tone was clearly showing off. On month, day, 2020, Lu Feng spent more and more time with Lin Wanwan. He would go whenever Lin Wanwan called him for anything. I complained to him, but he said I was thinking too much. He said that if he and Lin Wanwan wanted to be together, they would have been together long ago and it was impossible to wait until now. Although I was very angry, I really believed him. I believed that he wouldn't betray me. On month, day, 2021, I thought I could keep tolerating Lu Feng. I could also deceive myself and comfort myself every time Lu Feng left, saying that he was just going to meet an ordinary friend. Everyone has their own social circle. But Lin Wanwan kept sending me photos of her and Lu Feng. She said, Shenqing, don't mind, Lu Feng and I have been like this since we were children, there's nothing between us. What kind of confession without being questioned is this? Is it a provocation? On month, day, 2022, I don't want to write anymore. The original intention of my diary was to record happy things. But now it seems that it's all negative emotions. I can't stand the relationship between Lu Feng and Lin Wanwan more and more. I don't know how long I can hold on, I'm almost at my limit. On month, day, 2022, I'm finally pregnant. I stared at the B ultrasound report in silence for a long time. Was I happy, or anxious? I had actually been looking forward to this child for a long time. Since I got married to Lu Feng, I had wanted a crystallization of our love, but the doctor said I was too thin to get pregnant. So I turned my sadness into an appetite. I vented all my dissatisfaction with Lu Feng and Lin Wanwan on eating. Hard work pays off. After more than 2 years of effort, I finally got a good result, but at this moment, I wasn't as happy as I thought I would be. I didn't even know if Lu Feng would be happy. I had said many times that I wanted a child, but his reaction was always very indifferent. Would he dislike this child because of Lin Wanwan? Would he distance himself from Lin Wanwan because of the child? Could we return to an ordinary and happy family because of this child? 13. My notes ended on that day. After all, I died after that day. I watched as big tears fell from Lu Feng's eyes onto the screen of my phone. Was it guilt? Was it regret? But what's the use? I really didn't feel anything at all. Sorry, Lu Feng suddenly said. His voice was extremely hoarse. Go away. I tried my best, but I still couldn't shout out. I really wanted to tell him not to be so hypocritical. I not only have no feelings for you anymore, but I also never thought of forgiving you. I didn't know you were pregnant. If I had known, that day, Lu Feng couldn't go on. Probably he himself didn't know whether he would still go to see Lin Wanwan even if he knew I was pregnant. After all, how important Lin Wanwan was. Lu Feng covered his chest in pain. Probably his stomachache flared up again. He curled up and fell in front of my grave. It was getting darker and darker. Lu Feng's phone suddenly rang. His body moved a bit. If he hadn't moved, I would have thought he was dead too. He took out his phone. It was Lin Wanwan calling. He answered it. Hello, Feng, where are you? I think I'm being followed. I'm at home and I'm too scared to go out. Can you come to my house? I'm so afraid. Lin Wanwan's crying voice came from the other end. Okay, Lu Feng agreed immediately. I really laughed again. Under the evening breeze, I laughed most extravagantly. Was this his confession? It was truly deeply touching. I watched as Lu Feng stood up from the ground. His stomach didn't seem to hurt anymore. And he became completely calm. He drove directly to Lin Wanwan's house. The door opened. Lin Wanwan showed her innocent and lovely smile. Feng, you're finally here. I was scared to death. As she spoke, she deliberately nestled into Lu Feng's arms. Lu Feng pushed her away. I didn't see anyone around your house. Is that so? Maybe they left because I didn't come out. Lin Wanwan made up an excuse casually. Anyway, no matter how lame the reason was, Lu Feng would believe it. Feng, come here. I cooked porridge for you. Weren't you having a stomachache? I heard that porridge can nourish the stomach, Lin Wanwan said, flattering. Lu Feng was pulled by Lin Wanwan's coquetry and sat at the dining table in her house. Then she served a bowl of porridge. Try it, I cooked it myself, Lin Wanwan said with anticipation on her face. Suddenly, her eyes paused. Feng, what's wrong with your forehead? Why is it swollen and bleeding? Did you just notice? Lu Feng asked sarcastically. The light was too dim just now. What exactly happened to you? Lin Wanwan asked with eagerness and concern. It's nothing. He picked up the bowl of porridge in front of him and took a bite. After eating it, there was no trace of emotional fluctuation on his face, and it was impossible to tell what the porridge tasted like. Is it delicious? Lin Wanwan asked expectantly. Have you tried it? Lu Feng asked her. No. I just wanted you to have it, Lin Wanwan said coquettishly. Is that so? Lu Feng put down his chopsticks and there was a sarcastic smile on his lips again. Isn't it good? Lin Wanwan also seemed to notice that Lu Feng was acting strange today. Lin Wanwan quickly took a bite herself. As soon as she ate it, she almost vomited. With a bitter face, she said, "I'm so stupid. I put monosodium glutamate instead of salt. I can't cook at all. I'm all thumbs. Who can cook right from the start?" Lu Feng asked Lin Wanwan, as if asking himself, "Are you angry?" "The porridge Shenqing cooked was always just right," Lu Feng said, muttering to himself. "She should have tasted it again and again before giving it to me." 14. When Lin Wanwan heard Lu Feng mention me, her face clearly turned sour. "Feng, what's wrong with you today? I feel like you're acting strange. You never used to compare me with Shenqing before. You know I've never suffered since I was a child. How can I be like Shenqing? She doesn't even have parents." Lin Wanwan said very aggrievedly, but Lu Feng looked at her with increasingly unfamiliar eyes. "Yes, Shenqing didn't have parents, but I never cherished her properly." "Feng, what's wrong with you? Did you quarrel with Shenqing today? Did Shenqing threaten you?" Lin Wanwan said angrily. "Do you like me?" Lu Feng suddenly asked her. Lin Wanwan was taken aback and a bit surprised. She probably didn't expect Lu Feng to ask her such a question suddenly, in the past 6 months. As I followed Lu Feng around, I really didn't hear Lu Feng take the initiative to mention the so-called feelings between them. Now that I'm dead, is he finally deciding to take that step without any scruples? I watched as Lin Wanwan became shy. Blushing, she whispered, "Feng, all these years I thought you knew my feelings for you, so you do like me." Lu Feng confirmed, "Yes, I've always liked you, otherwise, I wouldn't care so much about you and everything. As soon as I heard you had a stomachache, I learned to cook porridge for you, even though it didn't turn out well. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't have sold my car and house to help you. Because you like me, you tried every means to destroy the relationship between me and Shenqing." "Right?" Lu Feng sneered. I didn't. I've always respected your relationship with Shenqing, so I've never crossed the line." Lin Wanwan said a bit flustered. "Did Shenqing deliberately say something to you? Do you start not to believe me? You said you sold your car and house to help me. Then do you remember which day you transferred the money to me?" Lu Feng questioned. How could I remember something so long ago? How much was the specific amount?" "More than 1 million yuan." Lin Wanwan's eyes flickered. "I gave you all the money at that time." Lin Wanwan let out a frightened scream, because at this moment, Lu Feng suddenly stood up from the chair and grabbed Lin Wanwan's neck. "You're still lying to me." Let me go." "I didn't lie to you, Lu Feng, let me go." Lin Wanwan's face turned red, and there was only fear in her eyes. "The 1.5 million yuan emergency fund I received back then was given to me by Shenqing," Lu Feng said through gritted teeth. His hand gripping Lin Wanwan's neck was exerting more and more force. Let me go." Lin Wanwan was so scared that tears streamed down her face. Her hands fumbled frantically with the things on the dining table. She grabbed the bowl of porridge that Lu Feng had just eaten and without hesitation, smashed the bowl on Lu Feng's head. Lu Feng's body tensed up. Taking the opportunity, Lin Wanwan pushed Lu Feng away with all her strength. There was blood all over Lu Feng's head. Lin Wanwan shrieked. "Lu Feng, are you crazy tonight?" Lu Feng's eyes were completely red, and there was a murderous look in his eyes. He asked her in a trembling voice, "Why did you lie to me?" "Why, it's because I like you that I did this." Lin Wanwan admitted the truth. Probably she also knew she couldn't deceive anymore. "I just went abroad for 2 years, and you got together with Shenqing. Clearly, we were the couple. She didn't deserve you at all. The one who doesn't deserve me is you." Lu Feng said harshly, "Why did you go abroad during the 2 most difficult years for me? Were you afraid that I would drag you down?" "Right." Lin Wanwan couldn't find an excuse to refute for a moment. "I watched their argument in the air above, and I just found it ridiculous. After all these years, is Lu Feng, who is so smart, finally willing to see clearly what kind of person Lin Wanwan is." 15. "You really deserve to die." The hatred in Lu Feng's eyes became stronger. "Don't do anything stupid. Lu Feng, killing people requires paying with one's life. I'll call the police. I'm going to call the police right away." Lin Wanwan was shaking as she held her phone. Before she could make the call, Lu Feng snatched the phone and threw it on the ground. The next moment, he grabbed Lin Wanwan's neck again, dragged her body to the outdoor balcony, and was about to throw her downstairs. Lin Wanwan desperately clung to the railing and kept screaming, Don't kill me. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have lied to you like this. And I shouldn't have destroyed the relationship between you and Shenqing." Lin Wanwan was really scared. She kept begging for mercy. "Let me go, Lu Feng, let me go. I'll go and apologize to Shenqing." Okay, I'll apologize. Lu Feng's face became even more cruel. Shenqing is already dead, where are you going to apologize? Lin Wanwan was taken aback, she thought she had heard wrongly. Shenqing is dead, Lin Wanwan. Shenqing died because of you, and she's been dead for half a year, Lu Feng roared at her. If you want to apologize to her, go down there and do it. No, I didn't kill her, I didn't harm her. Lin Wanwan was so scared that she cried. You insisted that I accompany you on your birthday that day. When Shenqing left in a fit of anger after arguing with me, she had a car accident and both she and the baby died, Lu Feng said harshly. If it weren't for you, Shenqing wouldn't have died. And Shenqing and my child wouldn't have died together. How can you blame me? You came here of your own accord, it was you who killed Shenqing. What does it have to do with me? Lin Wanwan resisted desperately. Lu Feng pushed her hard. Lin Wanwan's upper body was hanging in the air. She lived on the 16th floor, and if she fell, she would surely die. Yes, I also killed Shenqing, so we'll die together and atone for her. Lu Feng said each word slowly, the strength in his hands was also increasing. I just floated on the balcony and watched them struggling. Was I happy? Not completely. There's always a sense of pleasure in getting revenge, but it's hard to say how happy I was. After all, I'm already dead, and no matter what fate they meet, it can't bring my life back. Just treat it as watching a play. In the end, the play wasn't very satisfying either, because Lin Wanwan's screams attracted the attention of the neighbor next door. The neighbor called the police at the critical moment. The police pulled both of them down from the balcony. Lin Wanwan was sent to the hospital. Lu Feng was arrested on the charge of intentional injury, then he was detained in the detention center. His parents came to get him released on bail, but he refused. However, Lin Wanwan came to visit him halfway. When she came, there was still a circle of blue and purple swelling on her neck, which was the mark left by Lu Feng almost strangling her to death. Lu Feng, Shenqing is already dead. Is it worth it for you to let us end up like this because of her? Lin Wanwan asked him. The most unworthy thing for me is that I didn't kill you to be buried with her, Lu Feng said through gritted teeth. Shenqing is such an ordinary woman, she doesn't deserve you at all, but you're even willing to give up your life for her. It's me who doesn't deserve her, I defiled her love for me. The thing I regret the most in my life is that I hurt her because of you, heh. Lin Wanwan laughed out of anger. I came here today to talk to you properly and then withdraw the lawsuit against you. Since you're so unrepentant, then just stay in jail and eat the prison food. Anyway, for me, besides you as a person, what I care more about is your money. Yes, you're right, I never gave you that money. I lied to you, who asked Shenqing to do good deeds without leaving a name. She deserved to have the credit taken by others. You're also right. I was deliberately trying to sow discord between you and Shenqing. I did send Shenqing the photos of our ambiguous moments from time to time. I thought that within a year or two, Shenqing would be clamoring for a divorce. That silly woman actually endured you for more than 2 years. 16, that's enough. Lin Wanwan, that's enough. Lu Feng suddenly became extremely irritable. He stood up and wanted to strangle Lin Wanwan to death. Lin Wanwan stepped back 2 steps in fright. At this moment, the prison guard also held Lu Feng down firmly. Behave yourself. Just stay in jail slowly. Lin Wanwan didn't bother talking to Lu Feng anymore. She turned around and left without mercy. I watched Lu Feng's embarrassed and desolate appearance and still felt nothing. Once you let go of someone, there really won't be any more emotional turmoil. Later, Lu Feng was sentenced to 3 years in prison on the charge of intentional injury. On the day Lu Feng entered prison, my soul could suddenly leave his side. I started wandering around. I went to see my sister. My sister finally found a good partner. I watched her get married, watched her get pregnant, and watched her gradually get out of the shadow of my death. 3 years passed, my soul was still wandering around. But I became more and more exhausted. That day I saw a person who seemed somewhat familiar, but I couldn't remember who he was no matter how hard I tried. He had a crew cut and came out of the prison. After coming out, he went to my grave. Strange, why did he come here? I watched as he squatted in front of my tombstone. His thin and bony fingers gently stroked the photo on the tombstone. He said, Shenqing, I'm sorry. Shenqing, is my name Shenqing? I regret it, I really regret it. I saw that there was only pain in his eyes. It seemed as if his heart was being torn apart. I like you, I've always liked you. Regarding me and Lin Wanwan, I admit that I had feelings for her before, but after getting to know you, I only loved you. I really didn't fail to notice your company that never left me for so many years. all that's left for Lin Wanwan is just gratitude for her help. I thought she did everything she could to help me. So I wanted to be as good to her as possible to make up for my guilt towards her. I also always thought that since I was married to you, I belonged to you, and I didn't need to owe you anything anymore. I even took your kindness to me for granted. After getting used to your unconditional dedication, I forgot that you also have feelings and that you would be sad because of my neglect of you." As he spoke, he started crying. Then he covered his chest tightly with his hands. It seemed that the pain was excruciating. After a long time, he said self-deprecatingly, "What's the use of saying all these things now? You're dead, you're already dead, I'll never see you again, Shenqing, I miss you so much, I really miss you." He cried in front of my tombstone for a long time. When he finally left, he said, "I'll come to accompany you soon." I didn't know what he meant, but I still inexplicably followed him. I watched as he drove a car and parked it on a street. A day passed. Suddenly, he stepped on the gas pedal and rushed out. With a bang sound, a woman was directly knocked flying by him. Her body was sent flying several meters away, unrecognizable, and bleeding profusely. His car also crashed hard into the railing beside it, and the entire front of the car was deformed. I was clearly a ghost, but I was still scared when I saw such a terrifying and bloody scene, so without thinking, I turned around and floated away. The moment I left, I heard someone calling me, "Shenqing, is that you, Shenqing? Have you always been by my side?" I was scared. I just felt that the person chasing me behind was very terrifying. As I floated, my consciousness became more and more confused, and my soul became more and more scattered. I knew that I was going to leave this world, leave forever. At the moment my soul dissipated, in a hospital delivery room, the crying sound of a newborn baby rang out. Extra chapter. I crashed into Lin Wanwan and killed her. Both she and I should atone for our sins to Shenqing. It turns out that dying in a car accident can be so painful. After Shenqing had that car accident back then, how much pain must she have endured to be able to call me? But I, mercilessly, refused to answer. I thought she was going to stop me from going to celebrate Lin Wanwan's birthday again. Finally, I'm dead. I deserve to die 1,000 deaths. My soul left my body. Suddenly, I saw Shenqing. It's her. Isn't it? I can't be wrong. For the past 3 years, in my dreams day and night, it's always her shadow. I chased after her figure, but she floated away faster and faster. Don't go, Shenqing, don't go. I was in a complete panic because I saw her figure becoming more and more transparent. No, please don't leave me. I finally caught up with her with great difficulty and reached out my hand, wanting to hold her in my arms. But I just grabbed at the air. Shenqing disappeared in front of me, leaving not even a trace. I went crazy looking for her everywhere. I called her name like a madman. Shenqing, Shenqing. I kept searching. I searched every corner of the streets and alleys. Shenqing, don't hide. I was wrong. Please don't hide from me. Okay. Later, I saw a little girl. I saw that little girl who looked so much like Shenqing. She had such a bright smile. Her parents loved her so much. Wait a minute. Why does the mother of this little girl look so familiar? Do I know her? It seems that I only know Shenqing. Shenqing gradually grew up. She became a graceful and beautiful young woman. So many boys liked her. Finally, she accepted the most outstanding one of them. I watched them fall in love, watched them embrace, watched them kiss, and watched them have a relationship. It turns out, this is what it feels like to watch the person you like be with someone else. This is the feeling of being in such excruciating pain. I'm sorry, Shenqing, I'm sorry. After that, Shenqing got married. She was wearing a wedding dress, and there was a happy smile on her face. I should have blessed her, but my heart really hurt so much. Not long after the wedding, Shenqing got pregnant. Her husband was very happy. He picked her up and spun her around, wishing he could give her the best things in the world. They went for prenatal checkups together, did prenatal education for the baby together, and looked forward to the arrival of the baby together. Shenqing was about to give birth. Her husband was even more nervous than she was. Shenqing was in the delivery room for a long time. My soul couldn't enter that place, and I couldn't accompany her. I even felt that my soul was gradually dissipating bit by bit. I knew that I was going to leave completely. I just wanted to take one more look at Shenqing and her child before I left, the child I once owed Shenqing. I could never repay her for it. Heaven is indeed fair. Someone like me, who is deeply guilty, how can I be worthy of experiencing Shenqing's happiness? In the end, I didn't see Shenqing again, nor did I see her child. I just felt a powerful force pull me violently. I suddenly opened my eyes. In front of me were my old parents, once vigorous, they now had white hair. A phone, "You're finally awake. You've been asleep for a full 25 years, my mother sobbed. My father was also silently shedding tears beside her. So, I'm not dead, I'm still alive. Was the Shinching I saw just a dream? After a few days of recovery, I was finally able to sit in a wheelchair. I was pushed along the corridor of the hospital. Two people walking towards me made my eyes turn red in an instant. I watched her affectionately hold her husband's hand. And her husband was holding a little baby in his arms. Happiness was radiating from both of them. They were teasing the little baby as they walked. When they passed by me, no one noticed me. After a while, she turned her head. "If you walk out of this house today, Shinching, don't come back," he threatened me from behind. I couldn't stop crying, but there was a trace of disgust in her eyes. Her husband asked her, "Do you know him?" She shook her head. "No, I don't." Then she left with her husband. As she left, I heard her mutter softly, "I think that old man is kind of annoying. He didn't do anything to you." Her husband smiled indulgently and then said seriously, "You're not allowed to look at other men in the future. Not even old men. You're so stingy." "Yes, I am stingy, a stingy person who is only stingy with you." The two of them were joking and playing as they walked further and further away. The sight of them became more and more blurred in my eyes, until they disappeared completely. Story 2, a celebrity fainted on the high-speed train. At the scene, I performed surgery to cut open her trachea, saving her life. When she woke up, she tearfully asked for my contact information, saying she wanted to send me a banner of thanks. However, half a month later, not only did I not receive any banner, but I was served with a lawyer's letter instead. The celebrity claimed that because of my illegal medical practice and damaging her trachea, she could no longer sing. Her fans also started to verbally attack me, calling me an unethical quack and corrupt in medical ethics. Even my boyfriend accused me of ruining the bright future of his idol. As the situation escalated, I was permanently dismissed from the hospital, and my career was completely destroyed. In despair, I picked up a scalpel and aimed it at my own carotid artery. But what I didn't expect was that the day after my death, that celebrity released a new album and appeared on a new music variety show. It turned out her vocal cords had already healed. She was just using me as a scapegoat to divert attention from the scandal of being maintained by a wealthy businessman. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day the celebrity fainted on the high-speed train. "Please, any medical personnel on the train, come to carriage 1 immediately. Someone urgently needs your help." Suddenly, an urgent call for help came over the train's PA system. My boyfriend, Jo Sik-hen, immediately asked me, "Should we go check it out?" No. My cold refusal stunned Jo Sik-hen, perhaps because no medical personnel had come forward yet. Another anxious male voice came from the broadcast. "The person who fainted is the celebrity Meng Chantian. If you can save her, not only will we offer a substantial reward, but we will also provide limited edition signed photos and concert tickets of Chantian." A murmur quickly arose in the carriage. "My God, it's Chantian. How is she on this train? She fainted. It must be her cruel company overworking her. I feel so sorry for her." Meng Chantian was a highly popular new star, who in just 2 years of debut, had attracted a large fanbase with her pure looks and captivating voice, earning the nickname the purest nightingale in the entertainment industry. Even Jo Sik-hen, upon hearing this, couldn't help but show a pained expression, saying, "Chung Shui, as a doctor, you have a compassionate heart, go and save her. She must have fainted from overworking herself out of dedication." His words made me laugh in anger. Fainted from dedication. She clearly had an allergic reaction to birth control pills, causing her airways to swell. In my past life, I didn't even wait until the announcement mentioned she was a celebrity. I rushed to help immediately. Upon seeing Meng Chantian's cyanotic face and convulsing body, I knew she must have ingested something harmful and quickly applied the Heimlich maneuver to help her vomit it out. But I didn't expect her to only throw up a few pills. When I asked her manager what was going on, he hesitantly revealed they were birth control pills. I didn't care about the gossip of female celebrities taking birth control pills. To me, she was just a patient, so I deduced that she was allergic to the pills, which caused her airway obstruction. I quickly told her manager, "Brother Kai, she needs surgery immediately, go find me some clean knives and alcohol." Brother Kai hurriedly stumbled to get the items. Without hesitation, I cut open Meng Chantian's trachea and performed a simple cricothyroidotomy. A few minutes later, her cyanotic face finally returned to normal. The moment Meng Chantian opened her eyes, her manager brother Kai almost knelt down on the spot to thank me. Huatua reincarnated, divine doctor, thankfully you were here today, otherwise our Chanchan might have died. After reaching the station, Meng Chanchan was taken away by a hospital vehicle, and she specifically cried and typed a thank you message on her phone. Dr. Chung, please be sure to leave your phone number and workplace. The internet says that to thank a doctor, you should go to the hospital when it's busiest, with gongs and drums to present him with a banner so that he can be appreciated by the hospital's leaders and be promoted. I was rendered speechless by the girl's naive and innocent words, but I finally sent her my contact details, advising her to rest well and to contact me if needed. But what I didn't expect was that half a month later, she indeed chose the busiest time to deliver something to the hospital. Unfortunately, it wasn't a banner, but a lawyer's letter. Her manager, brother Kai, in front of many leaders, cursed at me. You quack. It's all your fault for practicing medicine illegally and damaging our Chanchan's trachea. Now she can't sing anymore. I incredulously looked at him. Wasn't it you who begged me to help save her? If I hadn't performed the surgery, she would have died. But brother Kai just scoffed disdainfully. What qualifications did you have to perform surgery on our Chanchan? Her annual insurance premium is in the 7 figures. If something goes wrong, can you afford to compensate? I've already consulted a lawyer. You didn't show any medical license at the time, and it was illegal out-of-state practice, a serious violation of the law. Our Chanchan still has over a dozen variety shows lined up, and new songs to release, but because of you, she can no longer sing. They said, you must pay the price. My pupils dilated in shock. I could hardly believe that these words were coming from the same person who had once begged me, crying. I hurriedly sought out my boyfriend Zhou Sushuan, who had been on a business trip with me, hoping he could testify and explain on my behalf, but to my disappointment, Zhou Sushuan said disheartenedly, Chung Shui, you should apologize. It was your lack of medical expertise that killed the purest songbird in the entertainment industry. Hearing this, Kai's voice grew even louder as he viciously berated me as a quack doctor. More and more patients gathered around, and even the leadership, with faces ashen, told me to take immediate leave to deal with the situation. But this was just the beginning. After I returned home, a video of Kai questioning me in the hospital was leaked. #unscrupulous quack doctor, #Meng Chanchan can no longer sing. These topics exploded across the trending searches. Meng Chanchan instantly became the most discussed and pitted female singer. Every day, people sent me private messages cursing me to die. And some even photoshopped images of my family's funeral. Meanwhile, my boyfriend Zhou Sushuan blocked me and visited Meng Chanchan in the hospital daily, claiming it was to atone for my sins. I couldn't take it anymore. I picked up the surgical knife I once knew so well and aimed it at my own carotid artery. Before my death, I left a suicide note to the press, hoping to tell the world in this drastic way. I was not wrong. But not only did Kai manage the situation to suppress my suicide note, but he also replaced the planned publication of my note with news of Meng Chanchan's miraculous recovery of her trachea, soon to return to the music scene. Countless fans cried with joy over her recovery. She tearfully said, perhaps it was Zhou Sushuan's care during this period that healed me, or perhaps seeing that quack doctor die, no longer harming others, has finally lifted the weight off my heart and allowed me to heal. Thank God. Everyone marveled at the miracle. And Meng Chanchan's fame soared even higher. But on one of her shows, I overheard her and Kai saying, Kai, your move was brilliant, pretending the trachea was injured to gain sympathy and suppress the scandal of me being kept. Not only did I become more famous, but I also got the young master of the Zhou family to take over that Dr. Cheng. She died just right. Kai laughed and comforted her. Exactly. The duty of a doctor is to save the dying and heal the wounded. She pushed you from a third tier to a top-tier star. She should be happy about that. As they spoke, they tore my blood-stained suicide note to shreds, and I, merely a lingering spirit, could only watch as she continued to rise in fame, securing endorsements, and even getting engaged and having children with Zhou Sushuan. But I never expected that the heavens would give me another chance. In this life, I would no longer meddle or have anything to do with that venomous star. However, at this moment, Zhou Sushuan looked at me with disappointment and said, Chung Shui, you've really disappointed me. You weren't like this before. Isn't it your duty to be compassionate and save lives? I laughed. The prerequisite for treating and saving lives is that the patient is a human. Meng Chanchan is nothing but a harmful white-eyed wolf. Why should I save her? I glanced at Zhou Sushuan. Oh, aren't you a doctor too? why don't you go save her? He was hit where it hurt, you know I'm still an intern. I don't even have a medical license yet, then keep your sympathy to yourself and shut up. Zhou Suxuan was instantly silenced, but as the announcement for medical assistance continued to play, Zhou Suxuan looked anxiously towards car 1, bit his lip as if making a decision, and suddenly pointed at me, shouting, "Someone come quick, this Jing Shui here is a surgeon, she can save Meng Qianqian." At that moment, everyone turned their gaze towards me. Wow, what a masterclass in moral coercion. Unfortunately, I'm not going to let you have your way. I stepped forward to meet everyone's gaze and loudly proclaimed in their expectant eyes, as a doctor, because I am a doctor, my medical skills swiftly make their way into China, commanding surgical knives to split Jesus's underpants and syringes to launch aircraft carriers, like this pill that could blast 800 piglets to death. At that moment, everyone was dumbfounded. They had no idea what I was talking about, neither did I. But I knew that they didn't know what I was saying, because I was just spouting nonsense. Haha, right, I am a doctor, but would you really let someone who seems mentally unstable treat you? As I spoke faster and faster, the pupils of the conductor and the agent widened. At the end, I even knelt down stiffly, grabbed Brother Kai who had just bowed earlier, and banged his forehead against mine, making us knock heads together and shouting loudly, "Bounce, bounce, bounce away the crow's feet." The carriage fell silent, even Zhou Sixuan was silent. I knew I had probably achieved my goal. I shook my head, dusted myself off, stood up, and with a sudden realization, remarked to everyone, my apologies, she just slipped out, it's okay, I'm back now, let's go. Didn't we say we were off to see and heal people? I looked at Brother Kai, but he, holding the forehead I had just knocked on, recoiled in horror. I feigned confusion, even the conductor looked at me fearfully, only Zhou Sixuan, unwilling to believe what he was seeing, shouted, "Qing Shui, what are you pretending for? To avoid going to save Qian Qian, you're actually pretending to be crazy here." I looked innocent. "No, I really want to save Meng Qian Qian, hurry, lead the way." Brother Kai was the first to speak up. "No way, we absolutely can't let this lunatic save Qian Qian, our Qian Qian is a star, if anything happens to her, 10 lunatics couldn't compensate." I spread my hands. "Then you guys should ask Zhou Sixuan. He's also a top student from the medical university." Brother Kai was quick to spot the medical university graduate student ID on his little table. "Quick, genius, come with me to save her." But Zhou Sixuan quickly retorted, "No, I haven't completed my residency training yet, people's lives are at stake, go and give emergency aid, even just performing CPR would be good," Brother Kai said, pulling him towards carriage 1. The other passengers in the car also cheered on Zhou Sixuan to go and save her, saying it was his first lesson as a future doctor. Zhou Sixuan's moral coercion backfired on him. Unable to resist, he was pushed by everyone toward Meng Qianqian's carriage. I watched his retreating figure and couldn't help but laugh. "Zhou Sixuan, I really look forward to seeing your expression when you help your pure goddess vomit out a bunch of contraceptive pills." Haha, I stood at the very end of the crowd, bustling along with them. Even with security on the train, it couldn't stop the crowd's eagerness to watch the celebrity drama unfold. I even saw someone next to me starting a live stream. "Folks, breaking news, female star Meng Qianqian fainted on our high-speed train today." Meng Qianqian's popularity instantly made this a hot topic, drawing a massive crowd of onlookers. The camera focused on Meng Qianqian not far away. Her small face was turning purple, and she weakly leaned on her seat, continuously pounding her chest with her hands. The comments streamed by, "My God, it must be her company overworking her with a packed schedule that made our Qian Qian faint, so heartbroken. Does it really look like she fainted from exhaustion? It looks more like she choked on something she ate." And Zhou Sixuan, after all a medical master, quickly assessed Meng Qianqian's condition, immediately held her against his chest, and performed the Heimlich maneuver. Under his compressions, the previously weak Meng Qianqian suddenly vomited violently. Several yellow pills spilled out onto the ground. Zhou Sixuan wiped the sweat from his forehead. "It's okay. She probably just choked on these pills she took too hastily." The livestream was flooded with comments. "My goodness, what illness does Qian Qian have, to take so many pills at once? What are those pills? Poor thing." Seeing this, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. What pills? Of course, it was her sugar daddy who had her take the birth control pills. Unfortunately, Zhou Sixuan did not recognize these pills. Moreover, just when he finally began to relax, He noticed that Ming Chanchan's complexion was still very pale and bruised. She still hadn't woken up. What's going on? Why hasn't Chanchan woken up yet? Didn't you say it would be fine once she threw up? Kaiga yelled loudly while holding Ming Chanchan. Zhou Xishuan also looked panicked. His clinical experience was insufficient, and with so many onlookers, he became nervous and couldn't make a clear judgment, only managing to stutter. It might be a side effect of the medication, right? It could be the drugs. He quickly turned to Kaigo. What medicine did she take? Tell me quickly. But as soon as Zhou Xishuan asked this, Kai Ji's face changed instantly. In my previous life, I had rushed over early, and no one knew that the person who fainted was Ming Chanchan, so there was no crowd. Thus, under my pressing, Kaiga quickly whispered to me that it was birth control pills, but this life was different. This time, Kaiga himself revealed that Ming Chanchan had fainted, and Zhou Xishuan had made a big deal out of it, attracting many onlookers, some of whom even started live streaming. Kaiga dared not say what medicine Ming Chanchan had taken. He hesitated and did not speak. The live stream viewers were growing impatient. What medicine is it? Just say it, so we can figure out a solution together. I'm so angry. What kind of lousy agent is this? It's still 20 minutes to the next high-speed train station. Who knows if our Qian Mei can last that long? I study medicine, and I can say for sure, Ming Chanchan wasn't just choked. From her symptoms, it's definitely drug-induced, either a side effect or an allergy. Zhou Xishuan also realized this and urged Kaigo, what exactly did she take? Tell me quickly, or how can we save Chanchan? But Kaiga clenched his teeth and remained silent. Just then, someone suddenly spoke up. Is it this? I found it under the seat. Someone shakily held up a pink box, printed with the words Zhueno Gestin tablets. In that moment, the whole room fell silent. Finally, someone spoke up weakly. Isn't that birth control pills? The entire live stream audience went wild. What exactly is going on? Why would Qian Mei take such a thing? What else could it be? Despicable. Can you keep your mouth clean? Many people use this to regulate their menstrual cycle. Can't you stop insulting others right away? I've never heard of anyone taking a handful at once to regulate their menstrual cycle. Hee. And still claim to be the purest songbird in the entertainment industry. If not a plague locust, the chat in the livestream was chaotic, with Kaiga and Zhou Xishuan showing a variety of expressions. Finally, Zhou Xishuan was the first to speak, trying to keep his voice calm. I think I understand now. It's not a side effect, it's respiratory obstruction caused by an allergy. She needs surgery right away to open her airway. Seeing Kai Ji's expression change dramatically, he quickly added, don't worry. A cricothyroidotomy is a simple procedure that can be performed sterilely outdoors, but, I've never done it before, I'm a bit scared. He paused, then suddenly turned his gaze towards the crowd. I felt a chill on my back. No good, this guy definitely wants me to perform the surgery. I had just gotten away with pretending to be crazy, but with so many live streams, if I pretended again and my work leaders saw, I would definitely be disciplined. I looked at the hard and solid walls of the high-speed train. I quietly moved back. Then, just as Zhou Xishuan's gaze fell on me, I shouted, don't push from behind, I'm going to faint. With that, I slammed into the wall, my head striking it hard. With a bang, I passed out gracefully. I was carried back to my original train carriage. While being carried, I still heard Zhou Xishuan shouting, don't carry her away, she can perform the surgery. But who would care? I was now a fainted person. When I returned to my seat, I slowly came to and weakly wiped the fresh blood from my forehead, telling the train attendant, you should go help over by Ming Chanchan. I'm fine, she needs more urgent help right now. The train attendant even praised me as a good citizen with public spirit. As soon as the attendant left, I immediately took out my phone and continued to watch the live stream that kind-hearted people had shared. In the live stream, Ming Chanchan's complexion was turning increasingly blue. Zhou Xishuan dared not delay any longer, and had to bite the bullet. Using the knife and alcohol that Kai and the others had found, I began to perform surgery on Ming Chanchan. However, as soon as I saw his clumsy technique, I knew things were not looking good. Even the medical students watching the live broadcast realized, isn't his incision too large? Chanchan is a celebrity, what if it affects her vocal cords later? It seems like there's something wrong with the disinfection step. This could easily lead to an infection. Oh no, the stitches are all crooked. What if it scars? Will you guys up there just shut up? Saving a life is what matters. Stop nitpicking. Exactly. If you think you can do better, then go ahead. Despite the chaos in the live broadcast, the scene was eerily quiet. It wasn't until Zhou Suxuan, drenched in cold sweat, finally finished the surgery that Kai burst out. The bruising on Qianqian's face is fading, and her breathing has stabilized. Zhou Suxuan wiped the sweat from his forehead, checked her heartbeat again, and finally took a deep breath of relief. Applause broke out at the scene. Meanwhile, the high-speed train finally arrived at the station. The professional medical team I had contacted in advance hurried onto the train to take Meng Qianqian away. I saw Zhou Suxuan tidying up his clothes, preparing to leave, but just then, he was stopped by Kai. My heart skipped a beat seeing this scene. I heard Kai say the same words to him that he had once said to me in a past life. "Miracle doctor, thank you for saving our Qianqian. Please leave your contact information. We will definitely send you a banner of gratitude." Zhou Suxuan hesitated, then bowed his head and typed in his school and workplace information for Kai. In that moment, my heart surged with thrill, because I knew Zhou Suxuan was doomed. He hadn't yet received his residency certificate and medical license. If anything happened to Meng Qianqian, they'd sue him for sure. The cyberbullying and insults I endured in my past life were about to be his burden soon. I was truly looking forward to it. When I saw Zhou Suxuan heading towards me in the live broadcast, I quickly shut my eyes again. The next second, I heard his cold voice, "Stop pretending. It's time to get off the train." I slowly opened my eyes and pretended to ask him, "What are you talking about? I don't understand." He looked at me with scorn. "Chung Shui, I never thought you could be this kind of person. Not only did you ignore someone in need of help, but you also used feigning madness and fainting to escape responsibility. I really don't know how I could have been with someone of such poor character 2 years ago." I cut him off. "Then let's not be together." He paused, seemingly confused. "What did you say?" I said, "Let's break up." As I left, he was still standing there stunned. Perhaps he never expected that I, who had always been so compliant, would one day take the initiative to break up. Zhou Suxuan and I met while he was doing an internship at our hospital. At that time, he was often bullied by his seniors, and I couldn't stand it, so I spoke up for him several times. After that, he started clinging to me, calling me sister, and even began pursuing me passionately. Having never dated before, I quickly fell for this younger, well-bred, and handsome brother. Being 5 years older, I naturally took care of him after we started dating. Despite Meng Qianqian's plummeting popularity among the public, the situation could not be salvaged. It wasn't until midnight that her management company issued an urgent PR statement. In essence, it conveyed the following. Firstly, Meng Qianqian fainted because she had been working too hard and too diligently during the filming. Secondly, she took birth control pills to regulate her menstrual cycle, and her overdose was due to unfamiliarity with the medication, not knowing the correct dosage to take. Lastly, they followed up with a standard legal notice warning, as is customary internationally. By the late night hours, the trending searches about Meng Qianqian gradually began to decrease. I knew this was a typical PR strategy often employed by celebrities. No matter, at least in this lifetime, I had successfully escaped from that high-speed train incident that nearly destroyed my entire life, and I wasn't going to let Meng Qianqian pin anything on me. The next day, I went to work as usual. Due to the explosive news about Meng Qianqian, the crazy incident I had on the high-speed train was completely overshadowed and went unnoticed. Upon arrival, I ran into Zhou Suxuan, who was on a phone call. I initially intended to walk past him, but he deliberately spoke loudly on the phone in my presence. "Oh, it's Brother Kai. You're coming to our hospital today. No need for a banner of thanks. Just hoping Qianqian recovers soon would be enough." I glanced at his obviously boastful demeanor and walked away. Banners of thanks, huh? He probably doesn't know that his legal notice has arrived. In the afternoon, Brother Kai and his group really did show up, unexpectedly. What he brought was indeed a banner of thanks, not a legal notice. Brother Kai even lavishly praised Zhou Suxuan in front of our hospital's leadership, commending his kind heart and excellent medical skills, giving Zhou Suxuan quite a moment in the spotlight. I was stunned by this turn of events. How could this be possible? The surgery Zhou Suxuan performed had so many flaws. It was bound to impact her tracheal recovery. It would definitely affect her singing. Given her and Brother Kai's personalities, they wouldn't miss this opportunity to gain sympathy and whitewash her image. Something felt very off, yet, I had no leads. Half a month later, paparazzi even captured Meng Qianqian entering and leaving Zhou Suxuan's apartment near the school. In the footage, the two were close together, exceptionally intimate. News of their romance skyrocketed to the top of the trending searches, and the comment section went wild. A medical student prodigy and a popular female singer, what a fairy tale romance, and their meeting is so novel-like, I'm totally shipping them, get married tomorrow. Only I, seeing this news, felt an eerie sense of wrongness. How could Meng Qianqian and Zhou Xixuan get together so quickly? In my past life, Zhou Xixuan had pursued her for a long time before they became a couple. Something was very wrong with the whole situation. There must be something I'm overlooking. Meng Qianqian must be plotting something with Zhou Xixuan, but what exactly? My eyes scanned the news about the apartment. I had lived in Zhou Xixuan's small apartment before, fearing the dangers of walking at night. I had even installed a surveillance camera on his front door. Even after we broke up, I hadn't gotten around to removing it, and it was still connected to my phone. I quickly opened the remote surveillance app and kept vigil whenever I could, fearing I might miss something important Meng Qianqian might say. Then one night, I finally caught Meng Qianqian. She was on the phone, entering the passcode lock. Brother Kai, your move was brilliant. I was about to send Zhou Xixuan a legal notice, but it's good that you noticed he has feelings for me. This way, not only can I give my child a nominal father, but I can also use this relationship to boost my popularity. When she said this, I was completely dumbfounded. My God. So Meng Qianqian was pregnant. That explains it. That's why she was so eager to be with Zhou Xixuan. She wanted him to take the fall. I was utterly shocked. Back in my previous life, when Zhou Xixuan and she got engaged, did he know about this? What a pity. For the first time, I regretted dying too early in my previous life and missing out on the dramatic turn of events when Zhou Xixuan became a happy father. Anyway, don't try to persuade me. I'm not going to have an abortion. I'm still hoping to marry into the family of General Chen, or General Li, or General Liu. Wait a minute, from what she's saying, does she even know who the father of her child is? Well, speaking of which, I guess it's not too unfair to him. If it weren't for him performing surgery on me on that high-speed train, how could I possibly vomit out the birth control pills I swallowed, causing contraception to be untimely? Even though he's not the biological father of the child, he should still take responsibility for me. Honestly, at that moment, I was utterly shocked by Meng Qianqian's logic. Upon learning the whole truth, I even felt some sympathy for Zhou Xixuan. Wearing such a huge cuckold's hat and raising another man's son felt worse than being slapped with a malpractice legal notice. It seems that Zhou Xixuan eventually fell deeply in love with Meng Qianqian. He even applied to end his internship at our hospital early. On the day he came to move his things, he made a point of seeing me one last time, dressed in a white shirt and black trousers, tall and undeniable. His appearance was still top-notch. He looked at me with a mocking gaze and casually dropped a bombshell. Qing Shui, I have some news that might hurt you. I crossed my arms and said, go on, I'm going to be a father, and it's twins. After saying that, he stared at me triumphantly, as if waiting for me to regret or even feel heartbroken, but I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Ahahaha, congratulations, being a dad, ha. My reaction was completely unexpected to him. He was stunned and finally cursed at me. You're crazy, Qing Shui. It seems you're addicted to pretending to be crazy. Yes, my madness was fake, but your cuckold's hat is real, hee. It wasn't long before Meng Qianqian's marriage and pregnancy with Zhou Xixuan were officially announced, making them the center of attention. They even signed up for several reality shows to flaunt their love, but just then, perhaps due to Meng Qianqian's rivals, rumors of her past being kept by wealthy businessmen were dug up. Although there were no concrete photos, the stories were very convincing. Rumor had it that several of her endorsements fell through because of this. I was initially enjoying her misfortune, but I hadn't anticipated that Meng Qianqian and her agent would resort to their old tactics to manipulate fans and whitewash her image. That very night, a video of me acting foolish and crazy on the high-speed train was spread by marketing accounts. Meng Qianqian even started crying. I just found out that this lady is actually a surgeon at the city hospital. But why was she acting so crazy that day? If it's true, is it legal and proper for someone who seems mentally unstable to hold such an important medical position? If it's fake, did she intentionally refuse to operate on me? I'm grateful that the accident led me to meet my current love, but I've always regretted not having the experienced Dr. Qing Shui operate on me. I might not have suffered from tracheal sequelae, and wouldn't have as much trouble singing as I do now. Her sob story instantly gained her a large following. Countless netizens cried for her and rallied to her defense, filling our hospital's complaints section with furious messages. Seeing this familiar pattern of cyberbullying, I couldn't help but laugh. Sorry, Meng Qianqian, you're still using the same old tricks, but I'm no longer the fool who let you bully me from my past life. Did you really think you were the only one with surveillance footage? I directly sent the surveillance video I had recorded of Meng Qianqian to her rivals anonymously. That night, the classic recording exploded on Weibo. Brother Kai, your move was brilliant. I wouldn't get an abortion. I want to keep the child. Maybe one day I could marry into General Chen or General Li's family with this child. Even though he's not the child's biological father, he should still take responsibility. Suddenly, not just me, but the entire nation was stunned by Meng Qianqian's logic. Everyone also knew about Zhou Xixuan being cuckolded. The evidence was irrefutable. Compared to my feigned madness and her adulterous pregnancy, what was that really? I even nonchalantly had a marketing account help me respond. Actually, I'm very healthy, and I really wanted to help Meng that day, but I had eaten mushrooms from Yunnan. Everyone knows what it's like to be poisoned by Yunnan mushrooms, right? I'm truly sorry. Those who saw my clarification expressed understanding. After all, Yunnan mushrooms are indeed very poisonous. My clarification hung on the trending list for only 10 minutes before it was quickly pushed down by other trending topics about Meng Qianqian. The recording came out, and her rivals unearthed even more dirt on her, like bullying newcomers, acting haughty, and tax evasion. In no time, all of Meng Qianqian's variety shows were cancelled, endorsements replaced, and she even faced a massive amount of compensation. That night, I received a message from Zhou Xixuan. Was it you who released the video? No wonder you were laughing that day. You knew all along, didn't you? I didn't respond because I was already on a plane heading abroad. I had actually started applying for a postdoctoral program abroad soon after I was reborn. I had already decided that no matter what happened, the safest option was to escape abroad, far away from Meng Qianqian and her ilk. A few days ago, my resignation and visa came through, and I couldn't wait to leave. Now, Meng Qianqian has been completely frozen out. And I'm adapting well abroad, but from time to time I receive emails from Zhou Xixuan. Sister, I miss you so much. I finally understand that you are the person who loves me the most in the world. Won't you come back? Big sister, I really miss you so much. It's only now that I realize how much you've done for me. You would take notes for me, protect me from being scolded by our seniors, and even give me your salary to use. You were the one who cured my insomnia, sister. I will break up with Meng Qianqian for you. Can you give me another chance? I simply replied, sure, I'll forgive you when you're dead. After sending that, I ignored him, but what I didn't expect was that half a year later, Zhou Xixuan really did die. Before Meng Qianqian gave birth, she explained once in public, claiming that the surveillance videos online were AI generated, that she had not cheated or been kept, and that the child was indeed Zhou Xixuan's. But when the child was born, well, what do you know? Twin boys, one black and one white. This phenomenon does occur in biology, where children can inherit such mixed traits if their grandparents were black and white. However, no matter how mixed they were, neither of the babies had Asian skin. It was clear as day that neither was Zhou Xixuan's child. Enraged, Zhou Xixuan ended up setting fire to Meng Qianqian and Kai, who had come to visit, killing them both. Before his death, he sent me one last email. Sister, by the time you read this, I might already be dead. Think of it as me setting up our next life's home. Can you forgive me now? Seeing the phrase, next life's home, only made me feel sick. Even though he was dead, I seriously typed out 3 words in response to his email. No, I cannot.